Hi, my name is Taylor Young, and this is my cultural self-analysis video. For my diversity dimensions, I'm 23, I'm a white male, I'm heterosexual. Physical qualities would be my shoulder-length blonde hair, blue eyes, full beard, and probably my height. I'm very tall, I'm 6'5". I don't have any physical or mental disabilities that I'm aware of. Ethnicity is a little bit more harder for me because I was adopted, so I don't know at all my biological father's ethnicity. I literally know nothing about him. As far as my biological mother, from what I understand, is she was at least part Russian, but other than that, that's all I know. For my actual parents, my dad is very heavily German, and my mom is Irish-Italian. For the secondary dimensions, I've never been married, never served in the armed forces. I don't have any particular religious belief. If I had to pick, I'd probably say agnostic. Same for political views. I'm not heavily Republican or Democrat. My education up to this point was elementary school through 12th grade at a public school, and then I moved out here to attend college at Grand Valley. As far as my family goes, I have one identical twin brother, and he is the older between me and him, so I do get some jokes because of that. The three things I learned about me would be my communication styles, the fact that I make a lot of assumptions about people, which is not good, and I'll talk about that, and then how I relate to the dominant culture. We'll start with that one. For my dominant culture, I do prefer to be in control, choose the whole destiny thing. I take risks, I'm short-term, goal-oriented, and as far as going against tasks, I do that step by step. I'm not really a big multitasker. How it impacts me, everyday life, basically decided where I went to college, decided what field I was going to study in. It decides where I'm working now and how I do my job. How others might view me. Hopefully it would be seen as determined, do what it takes to get the job done at the workforce, but I could see how that would be viewed as either aggressive or ruthless, do anything for the position, the promotion type deal. How others might view me, hopefully desirable. I think this is a good quality to have in the business world, but as I mentioned earlier, that I do believe this could be viewed as aggressive, ruthless, doesn't really care about his other coworkers, but hopefully that's not the case. And then how to change the workforce, the best thing I could think of was that, hopefully you'd advance high enough in the position where you could have some influence on the work rules and laws, if you will, and then, change that to be more accepting of others, and that's all I had for that one. For communication styles, I had fun doing this part. I am more direct, I would say. Very little emotion to possibly no emotion, and the whole touching, feeling thing, very little of that as well. Interestingly enough, I don't dislike the polar opposite of that, a lot of emotion, a lot of touching. It's just not who I am. It impacts me in everyday life simply because you talk to everybody. I mean, that's how you get through life, is talking to people. You can't not talk to people. You can't just sit in your room all day, I guess. How it impacts other people may see that communication style as distant, I guess, because there's no really emotion in it. Hopefully that's not true on my part, but I can see how other people would view it that way. The positive negative outviews, the negative being, obviously as stated above, distant, doesn't care, does not listen or all that stuff. But the positives, I think what might be in high tense emotional situations, that I do keep my cool, and maybe my people will be like, oh, he's a good decision maker because he's not letting his emotions decide what he's saying and what have you. And then for how it would change the workforce, I don't really think any one communication style would be appropriate in the workforce. I think you need a lot of them. So hopefully, if there was a very diverse communication styles in the workforce, it would make it easier to better understand certain individuals. That's all I could think of for that one. And then lastly, the thing I don't like is I make a lot of assumptions. Even if I try to avoid making assumptions, it's kind of subconscious, I guess. I see someone, I try to place them and figure out who they are and what they do and whatnot based off their dress, their appearance. It's not good. You shouldn't do it. It's mean. It's rude. But I do it. It shapes the way I view everyone. I guess how it shaped me. First time I meet them, I try to figure them out, place them. Not something I'm proud of, but it happens. How others might view that would be if they knew, I guess, possibly avoiding me, because who wants to be judged? No one likes to be, no one likes to have someone assume something about them, and no one likes to judge them. Negative would obviously be the judging, maybe people being like, oh, he stereotypes people because of how the assumptions. I don't, but I could be viewed that way. And I don't think there is any positive thing for assumptions. You shouldn't assume anything before you get to know the person. So I'm gonna go with there isn't positives for this one. And in the workforce, hopefully, if I pointed out that someone was making an assumption, which usually goes against someone's subculture and can be seen as offensive, if I said something, or if I didn't do it, or if someone did and I said something, hopefully on a short, small-term level here, it would stop that from happening in my field. That is my 3 things, and I will see you guys later.